What's going on YouTube? I can come at you with another XY Wi-Fi battle. This one's against my boy GiancarloParimango11 once again. He was streaming and he won the battle, so decided to get a battle with this team that I used a variation of on my last showdown live. Anyway, into this team, I'm actually using special defensive heat trend this time, offensive Celebi, wall chomp, CB Scizor, offensive defensive Manibuzz, and sub-select Terrakion. I'm looking at John's team real quick. The biggest threat there is going to be Infernape because it wrecked the Salatran core, and it also wrecks my Scizor. Depending on how I play. Outside of that, I don't really see too many threats. I can handle the Mamoswine with Scizor, I can handle the T-Tar, I can handle the Aegislash due to Manibuzz countering it, and all I have to really do is worry about getting rid of the Galvantula Sticky Web and potentially the Mamoswine Stealth Rocks, and outside of that, like I said, Infernape's going to be threat number 1. So, he's going to lead up with Galvantula, and I'm going to actually lead up with my Heatran predicting the Galvantula because I have the Lava Plume, and what I was hoping to do here is use Lava Plume, bring him down to a Sash and get the burn, so that way I'd be able to take out the Galvantula in turn 1 without, really having to worry about much. Even though he will get up a Sticky Web, I could just defog it away later with Manibuzz. But unfortunately for me, I do not get the burn. So I'm just upset right now, and I'll just go for the Lava Plume again. And this is actually the wrong Heatran. This Heatran actually has Stealth Rocks along with my Wall Chomp, so I could have actually just went for the Stealth Rocks right there, but I opted to go for the Lava Plume again, depending on if he stayed in or not, which I really shouldn't have done. But I stayed in Lava Plume, I get the burn on the Rotom. That'll force him to go for the rest 1 turn earlier. And I'm going to go for the Protect. I figure he's going to go for the Hydro Pump, as he does go for the Hydro Pump. So what I'm going to do now is switch out into my Celebi, because Celebi will be able to take a Hydro Pump, Will-O-Wisp, or, whatever Rotom generally wants to do, because it's just Celebi. Like, it's just there to marinate. But, yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? I don't even know. Anyway. Right here, I think the switch out to Aegislash is way too obvious, so instead of going for the Giga Drain, I'm going to go right for the Earth Power, get a decent amount of damage off on the Aegislash. Considering its defensive form, and I'm max special attack Celebi, I guess that's decent damage. I mean, it is base 150 in both defenses and defensive form. But I'm going to switch out now because I don't want to risk him either setting up or just going for the Shadow Sneak and taking me out, because this is, like I said, offensive Celebi. So I'm going to go right onto my Manibuzz, because Manibuzz does indeed counter Aegislash, it outspeeds. Has access to Foul Play, which I do go for after he Swords Dances, so that's a guaranteed OHKO on the Aegislash, so I'll just take it out, somewhat of a threat out of the way. As long as I kept my Manibuzz around, it wasn't really that much of a threat, but I'm going to just Rotom now. And right here, I kept thinking that Manibuzz is a base 95 speed as opposed to 95 special defense, so because I thought that, I stayed in, and I went for the knockoff. And that misplay allows me to get off a free rest, and I just knock off for no reason. Because if I was faster than the Rotom, I would have been able to knock off before his Chest Berry activated, and he would have just been a sleeping Rotom. So in the next turn, I'm just going to Sticky Web. I'm going to defog to get rid of the Sticky Web. And good for the Thunderbolt. Doesn't do all that much. Considering I'm physically defensive. I mean, it would have done even less if I was, especially defensive, but that's the story. So I'm going to go right out into my Heatran, because I know Heatran can take a Thunderbolt. I have to go for the Will-O-Wisp just to get residual damage on my Manibuzz, but I indeed did switch out to my Heatran, so it's immune to it because of the Flash Fire. I'm going to stay and go for my Stealth Rocks, because I know I can take at least 2 Hydro Pumps, barring a crit. Well, even then, I can still take 2, I'll just die afterwards. So I'll take the Hydro Pump, set up my Rocks, and I'm going to go for the Protect right here, because I was actually counting the Hydro Pumps, but it's not really such a good idea anymore since Pokebank is out, so you can just Pokemon Go or Pokemon that have max PP and moves, so I was kind of relying on the in-game counter for that, so that wasn't the greatest thing ever, but at this point I think he used 3 Hydro Pumps, and I'm just going to go right on my Celebi, expecting another Hydro Pump, and this time, since the Aegislash is dead, and I predicted the last time to switch out, I'm going to go right for the Giga Drain, and get a nice chunk of damage off on the Rotom. It doesn't KO, but, it does really nice chunk, as he's going to go right for the Will-O-Wisp, and I don't really know why he stayed in here, actually, because Celebi has natural care and I can just KO with Giga Drain. So I just get the Rotom out of the way, which is nice for me. And right here, I was actually really scared because, as I said in the team preview, Infernape is like potentially the biggest threat he has, and I just took out a Pokemon with my Celebi, leaving it exposed. So he can either go into the Infernape or go into the Tyranitar and set up, forcing me to either stay in and try to damage it, or just switch out and let him get a free Dragon Dance. But fortunately for me, he does not go into the Infernape or the Tyranitar. He goes into Mamoswine. Now, expecting the Icicle Crash here, I'm going to go right into my Scizor. I'm going to Scizor because 1, I resist the Icicle Crash, and 2, his focus has just broken due to me getting my stealth rock. So I'm just gonna bullet punch. I'll be able to take him out because choice band bullet punch after technician boost and stab, it's gonna take out Mammoth Swine. Like there's just no doubt. So he's gonna go into the biggest threat on his team right now, the Infernape. So right here, I'm gonna go into my wall chomp because I know wall chomp can take at least one close combat without dying. Given the EV spread I use. So I'll take the close combat. I don't take it great, but I can take it. Get the defense drop and the rough skin damage on it. So rough skin damage is kind of nice. That'll rack up with stealth rock damage eventually. So because he's locked into close combat, or I'm figuring he's choice band locked into close combat, I'm actually going to switch into my Celebi right here because I know I can take close combats all day easy, eating it up, except he crits me. So because he crit me, close combat is actually going to be a 2-hit KO on my Celebi. And now I'm just really upset because now this in front of me just took out my Celebi while I was locked in close combat, and I could have just taken it out if I was just able to go for the Earth Power and he didn't crit me. So this in front of has become a slightly larger threat than it was initially. And now I'm gonna go to my Mandibuster, just kind of trying to get it lower. Defense is lower because I actually at this point in the battle I actually wasn't paying attention to the defense drops. I was just like fuck, how am I gonna kill this thing? I'm gonna kill this. But he's actually gonna switch out. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess he wasn't sure that he could kill Mandibuzz with a close combat, which he probably couldn't, honestly. But you know, he doesn't kill Mandibuzz. He switches out. He uses his Death Fighter in his Get Venture, get a free switch into his Tyranitar. And here, I'm just upset too. I'm like, damn, he's just gonna set up with his Tyranitar. So now I have to stay in. And I go for the foul play, but luckily for me, like I just said, I have the foul play. So if he starts Dragon Dancing, I just foul play, get some damage off with my Mandibuzz, and then go into my Scizor afterwards and hit him up with a Bullet Punch. And that should, a combination of those two moves should be able to take it out. So he goes for Dragon Dance, I'm gonna go for foul play, and I get off a decent chunk with the foul play. And you know, that's good. I don't know, like a 30%. So he's going for a Rock Slide here, and he misses. Now that miss isn't gonna matter too much because I'm gonna go for the foul play again. And I get off another good chunk of damage. Now, the reason why I say that foul play, that Rock Slide miss didn't matter is because on this turn, he's actually going to crit me with the Rock Slide. And I actually calculated afterwards, 2 Rock Slides would still have KO'd me. So, if he just hit the first one, and this one, it still would have essentially been the same as him just hitting, you know, getting a crit. So, it didn't really matter to me all that much. Anyway, but because I was able to get off the damage with the Mandibuzz due to foul play, I will be able to take out the Tyranitar with the Bullet Punch. Now we're going to go back out into his Infernape, and again, this thing is a giant threat. I think this is his last Pokemon now, and it's still a giant-ass threat. So, I'm pretty sure he's going to lock himself in a close combat, but right here I just need to start firing off Pokemon to get his defense low enough to where I can come in with Scizor and Bullet Punch him. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't counting the close combats. So I'll just let my Pokemon die left and right. I'm just like, alright, you can die, you can die, you can die. Send on my Terrakion, that's gonna die. Terrakion's a big ass threat, but like I said, this is my Sub-Salac Terrakion, so this is my adamant one, not Jolly, so there was no possible chance of a speed tie right here. So I'm just gonna let Terrakion die. And right now I think he's at -2. And I think that I was thinking that I thought I could I derped and I went to my Scizor thinking that I might be able to kill him with close combat. With Bullet Punch at this point, but I wasn't entirely sure. Like I said, I wasn't counting the close combats, so I just, since I was thinking that I wouldn't kill him, I'm just gonna switch right out in my Wall Chomp. And fortunately for me, he's actually out of close combats. But I looked away from my screen, and I just didn't know why my Garchomp survived. So I see that he's struggling now. So I'm like, all right, well I can just Mega Evolve, hopefully survive, and just kill him. The reason why I wanted Garchomp was to survive, was because I was going for that mean 2-0 ass clap. I mean, come on. You gotta go for the 2-0 ass clap sometimes. But yeah, that's gonna be the game. It's gonna be a good battle, John. And real quick, I just want to say thank you for 700 subscribers. I'm almost at 800 now, so I mean, this thank you is kind of late. But yeah, anyway, I just want to say thank you for that. And I should be back to uploading LPs soon. I just need to actually record them because it's hard to record because people keep coming home at different times in my house, and I hate recording when people are home because then they interrupt me. Like right now, it's the middle of the day, surprisingly, not like 3 in the morning when I'm recording this. Anyway, that'll be all for this episode. Wow, this video. You guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, and the jazz. It's kind of going to get next time later.